And that's where entrepreneurs are high income individuals. You don't have to go out there and reinvent the wheel. There's mentors who know how to invest and who can guide you in the right direction.
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and the wisdom of how they sold their first million.
So tell us, where do you find the strength? What was the process? And what message do you have for people doing property out there?
Well, like you mentioned, there were a lot of people who jump off the bridge. And I understand that totally and completely because I was really at that point.
Wow.
I actually was making plans to do that.
Wow.
And the thing that...
Why, Alex? Because you make it about yourself.
Yeah.
You blame yourself for everything.
Exactly. Yeah. And
Okay.
stopped me from that was just realizing that much pain as I was feeling doing that to myself would leave so many unanswered questions
and to your family also, to the people around you, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. And with that realization, I realized that as painful as this is, as dark as this is, that there's a way out of it. And I wasn't sure what that was going to be, but I just started putting my skills together, that as limited as they were in terms of investing.
So much pain. I remember I cried, and my mom passed away and I cried a lot, but the day that I closed the business, the restaurant, I cried and it was so painful, It was, and then you need to start to look for, because it happened to you before, well, you know where to go, but it's the first time this happened so fast. And all of a sudden, not that whatever you build, that for the comfort not only of yourself, but for your own family now, your family is kind of, your one getting impacted also. And we cannot blame anyone because, we are the entrepreneurs. We take our decision ourselves. But being in business, this is what it is. It can work and sometimes works and sometimes it doesn't.
Exactly.
And I had just to let it go. My problem was I had the restaurant since I opened the first month. Even the mom of my girlfriend was telling me, close this restaurant. It doesn't work, Harry. She was an entrepreneur after the first month. And then I got so attached to, I'm going to save it. I'm going to make this work. And it not that. It was the market was not big enough for that type of product. It was close to a credit crunch, 2009. So it was recovery the economy. So what a lot of things that I didn't have the knowledge. She knew because she already had several business. She knew that it's not gonna work. I didn't knew. I thought I was invincible that I'm gonna make it work. And if it doesn't work, doesn't work. And sometimes, so I learned to surrender my ego. Okay, this is one of the things that I took a big hit, a big lesson, and I realized that I'm not a big deal. That I'm just learning, and if I can ground myself and some realistic things, I can get wiped out and actually really easy. Okay, so I learned that. I didn't know that. And I learned that I have to start to do personal development as well, which it was something that I didn't even know that existed. But basically, when the business doesn't work, you start to get angry. Then you don't sleep. Now you're angry with your family. You remember arguing with my dad a lot, for no reason, but just angry, right? Whoever talks to me, girlfriend and father, whatever, I'm just angry. I'm angry at myself also. And I didn't know. So, but definitely you need, so first things, okay, is try to find a personal development, try to find a mentor, try to find a coach and yourself, okay? Clear your
Absolutely.
head and re-empower yourself. And it's a healing process that it doesn't get recovered so easy. Yeah, it's like it's time for you to heal yourself. That's number one. Number two is that entrepreneur, the good news is we always come back in a different form. Okay, we don't,
Right.
if we survive, because people after do this incident, they jump out of the bridge, they do crazy things. Please don't do that. If you are in business, you listen to this podcast and you spending a tough time, reach out. I'm sure that Alex can really help you and me and most entrepreneurs that we have been there and do tough times. Okay, but then we come back in a different shape, in a different form, and now the new Alex that is coming back. Okay, now he see investments completely different way. Now he's always looking for bulletproof investments. Now he's seeing the extra mile because sometimes things doesn't happen to you. Okay, so tell us, and we want speak a lot in this podcast, Alex. That entrepreneurs, there are two things: one thing making the money, the other thing keeping the money. And the fact that you are a good entrepreneur, that doesn't mean that you're a good investor. Yeah. Good investors are good entrepreneurs. So, but there are two parts of the question. You make money. Second part of the question, keeping money. Okay. And entrepreneurs, we are good at making money. Okay. We have the houses, we rent it, we have the loan to the bank. I pay the mortgage. I have this extra capital. Entrepreneurs sounds amazing, making money. But as investors, this is we don't know. Okay. Why we should know? We only know how to have a product, how to sell it. So tell us, when do you think that entrepreneurs should be looking and learning about how to invest it and how to invest wisely? Otherwise, a lot of people have been in this podcast, millionaires, that they tell me, Harry, I'm making I lose it, I'm making I lose it, I'm making I lose it. Because yeah, your ability to make money is good, but there is a second part of the equation that nobody knows, which is becoming a great investor. So what message do you have for entrepreneurs that they're having a business, they're making money, and they think, wow, I'm on top of the world, I'm making it, I'm good, and they don't understand the risks, like having a business is, something can go wrong, can happen. COVID, credit cards, you name it, and 2, 3 months you go to zero.
Yes, I mean, so absolutely true. And I deal with a whole lot of high net worth individuals who are doing exactly what you were saying. I mean, there's lifestyle creep, there's just all kinds of demands out there, and people bring in a lot of money, and it just goes out the back door. And so, how do you stop that? Well, you can do what I did. You can take 4 or 5 years to develop the system that I put together, or you can come to someone like myself who's been through all that and already has the system in place. You had mentioned coaching. Well, that's what we do with Beyond the Paycheck. And so you can go to go.steedtalker.com/beyond-paycheck. And you can check out the program that we have. And we have what it took 5 years for me to develop. We have it in a package. And that's where entrepreneurs, high income individuals, you don't have to go out there and reinvent the wheel. There's mentors who know how to invest and who can guide you in the right direction. And you can focus on your entrepreneurial endeavors. You can focus on your professions and using that money that you generated to put the money to work for you rather than working for money. And there's a huge there. And until
Absolutely.
And money is working for you, you'll be working the rest of your life.
Tell us about the system a little bit more that you develop. What do you take into consideration? And it's just for institution. It's for retail investors. Shall we call it like that? Correct?
Correct. Right. Yes.
Day to day. Okay. Is it specialized in property or there are other vehicles involved? Tell us more about the system. how you created it, how the people can benefit with this. Tell us a bit more about that.
Well, it really took about 5 years to really put it all together and to put it into place.
Wow, a lot of work.
Yeah, but it begins with the educational component before we place any opportunities before people. I take them through a learning process so that they understand private placements from the bottom up. And once they really understand what private placements are, then we have the networks in place where we actually bring the opportunities to the investors. And education.
Private placements, can you expand a little bit more?
Private placements in terms of offerings in terms of real estate, it's multifamily, self-storage, medical office, flex industry.
Wow, medical office. Wow,
and,
that sounds good.
And yeah, I mean, medical offices are always going to be in demand.
Oh, wow.
And mobile home parks. And then we also bring oil and gas opportunities to investors. And
I hear that they are good for tax.
They're good for our tax liability reduction. But, real estate does the same thing. It just functions a little bit differently. So we two things. One is we the opportunities that we have curated, that we have underwritten, that we have done our due diligence on. So our investors have confidence. Wow. The opportunities we bring have been well vetted, and always looking at opportunities that provide for tax liability reduction. You had talked about you can make a lot of money. Well, one of the ways that people lose money is through taxes. High income individuals are losing anywhere from 45 to 50% of their income just right off the top through taxes. And so the investments we bring are tax liability reduction investment opportunities. So it's not just finding the right investment, it's finding the opportunities that also 100%. Reduce taxes. Yeah.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.